Hello, Blackfoot Senior Center.
Greetings.
Hi.
Hey, Kurt.
Everybody's on all at once.
Okay.
Nice.
Great. So it looks like I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like we have a couple people there. Or no?
Yeah, we've got Renee over there.
Great.
Renee Richardson and Carter.
Oh, Carter. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
And you're maintaining distance, so
We are.
we see that.
Good deal.
Great.
Tell Renee hi.
We're sorry we had to quit our bingo game to break for this meeting. We were playing bingo.
Were you up or down?
No one would touch the seniors bingo.
Diagonal.
Gotcha. Okay. Wise move.
Okay. Great. So now I would like to ask Jason and Renee. I don't think you were not with us earlier today, correct?
Correct.
Right. Okay. So I want to ask Jason and Renee just to quickly introduce yourselves. What are the, and I'm curious if there are specific roles you have in the community or specific community interests you have that kind of bring you to this effort and that that you want us to know about. So Jason.
Hello, my name is Jason Dellinger, and I'm a food service assistant at the Blackfoot School District 55. I've been working with them for 3 years now, and my community interest is the recreational.
Ah, got it. And congratulations to your girls basketball team.
Thank you.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah. Great. Thanks for joining us. Renee. Oh, Renee, the senior, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. My name is Renee Richardson, and I'm a regional director for Senator Rish's office, and the Blackfoot community is within my scope of work, but I also live in the community, so I have a special interest to know what's going on, and just here to see what great work is happening, and then also just to learn the process of arriving at some of the decisions that will be made.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. Gloria?
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for letting me get in on your party. I'm Gloria O'Rourke with MEDA, and that stands for Montana Economic Developers Association. And I'm the part of the Montana team that's trying our best to keep up with Idaho and do the great work that you do with community reviews. We're learning from Idaho and implementing it in Montana. So thanks for letting me watch.
I'm so glad you're with us. It's awesome. So tonight is really about some show and tell about the work we've been doing, not just today, but some work that has been ongoing actually for over the past couple of years. So this is all that we're doing now is just a continuation and development of that work. So I just wanted to highlight the many partners and funders who support Idaho Rural Partnership, our work across the state generally. Those are partners like Rocky Mountain Power, Bayer, Avista, Idaho Housing and Finance, Idaho National Laboratory, and then other partners are supporting the Blackfoot Community Review specifically, which the examples of that are, again, INL, the City of Blackfoot has been a huge important source of help and in support in many ways, obviously, and Southeast Idaho Council of Governments as well. My name is John Barrett. I'm the director of the Idaho Rural Partnership. We're housed within the Idaho Department of Commerce. And we've been conducting these community reviews for over 20 years now. We've done about 45 of them in smaller towns around the state. And I also wanted to point out these on this slide, the bottom half of the slide, the participating agencies and organizations, they're listed. Those are, for the most part, those are all agencies or organizations who are being represented on the visiting team here for the phase 2 of the community review. Okay, I'm gonna advance the slide here. And since most of us have seen these slides earlier today, I'm gonna just do a very quick overview of the, as I just mentioned, we are in phase 2 of the community review. There are 3 phases, so we're kind of midway through the process. It's been kind of, the whole process has been stretched out a little bit, primarily by the pandemic, which just made, took some time to figure out how to adapt and respond to that and create this, more virtual approach to the community review process. So it's been, it's been some effort, but I think it's all gonna be worth it in the end. And we'll be, I think, going forward in future community reviews, we'll be using elements of what we're doing now, even after the pandemic is behind us. So, so phase 2 is about action planning, and it's within the 3 specific focus areas that have been identified mostly as a result of phase 1, which we call the listening phase. So the 3 focus areas for the work we're doing now are homelessness and housing, community recreation, and the third one is the community's image and identity. So what we're sharing with you tonight and what we're going to ask you for your input on is the work we've been doing today within these 3 focus areas, and we'll be continuing this work tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to skip over this. These next couple slides just give you a little bit of information about phase 1, which featured conducting listening sessions with a variety of community groups. This was done in May 2019. And on the left-hand side of the screen, those are the different groups we met with at that time. Okay. And this slide just there's a lot of detail here, but it just basically gives the sequence or the steps involved in completing phase 2 of the community review. So very briefly, leading up to this week, we've been in the planning stages for tonight or today and tomorrow, which is represented by the purple section of this kind of donut. And then right now we're doing the community visit, which is virtual. And that's the green section of the donut. And then following this week will be our team here of visiting professionals will be putting together a report and presenting it back to the community at the end of March, which will be kind of like your blueprint that you've created with our support for addressing or completing the high priority projects within each of the 3 focus areas. Okay. And so there in the blue box, in the center of this screen, you see the 3 focus areas there are delineated. This slide refers to a pre-planning Zoom meeting we did on December 9th, where we actually initiated the process of brainstorming potential projects for each of the 3 focus areas. And there's a screenshot of all of us participating, and well, some of us are participating on the December 9th meeting. Okay. Lori, you want to talk about this slide and the next phase after this?
Okay. So, as John said, we're right in the middle of the community visit portion of phase 2, and then the launch phase starts basically on Friday, immediately after we finish tomorrow night. The teams will continue, we hope, to meet and recruit others to participate and start implementing the projects that you're going to put some wheels on tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll talk a little more about community coaching and who your community coach might be. Please tune in for that surprise announcement. And the community coach role is to assist the teams, also a steering committee that we will talk about tomorrow, comprised of folks from all the different teams, kind of keeps everybody connected, and then is also a liaison with the coach and and through the coach to us, so that we can provide technical, us meaning the rest of the visiting team that's participating in this process, and that we want to keep up to date with where you're at with all you're doing, so we can provide any technical assistance you need in a timely manner. And then in about a year or so, we'd like to come back and have a little celebration, find out what you've been up to. And we do this thing called ripple effects mapping, which is really a cool kind of evaluation process that will bring the different teams back together so you can hear from each other what you all have been doing, and talk about some of the progress you've made. And it's a good opportunity to sort of check in and regroup and get re-energized and get back out there and do some more. Now, we did a survey prior to phase 1 in 2019, and we'd like to, if we can, we're still trying to figure out how this is going to work with funding and all, but we'd like to redo that community satisfaction survey, so we have kind of a before the community review and an after the community review, to see what's changed. And then ripple effects mapping helps us understand if things changed, what was due to the work around your community review, and what was not. So that's why we hope we get to do that piece as well.
Great. Great, thank you. So any questions about anything so far? I know for a lot of you, this is review. But I guess I would want I want Gloria and Jason and Renee to know, like, the rest of this meeting is really about sharing our work with each other who did the work today, because we worked in 3 separate teams, but we haven't really shared with each other that work. So this is much more than about just sharing our work with you. It's about, again, sharing that work with each other. So I'm, for example, I spent most of the afternoon on the housing focus area, and I'm excited to hear what the other 2 groups came up with. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing here. And I'm going to bring up the slides for each focus area. So for you people that are kind of presenting on behalf of your team here, in a few minutes, the first slide you'll see is the vision statement slide, which responds to the question, your group's answers to the question, describe the ideal future for Blackfoot with regard to your focus area. So you'll see that slide followed by your list of projects slide. And I just remembered that earlier, I believe Yop and Maureen, correct me, that image and identity requested to go last. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me bring this up. Let me just make sure you are last. Look at that. You are last in the sequence. Right. Okay. So first is housing. Then we're going to talk about recreation, and then we'll finish with image and identity. Okay. And then after we're going to share this work with you, and then particularly for Jason and Renee and anyone else that may have joined us or may join us here, we'll be asking you for your input on these possible projects that we're going to be sharing with you. Okay, so between Kurt and Allison, I know you two are going to kind of co-present the housing work. So which one of you wants to start us off? Oh, I need to share my screen, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not seeing what I'm looking at, which is a problem. Okay, I apologize. Okay. Hopefully that, okay.
Allison, I'll go ahead and read the.
There we go.
I think we've got a bit of an echo because of the senior center and Kurt being in the same place.
Okay. So you want me to kick it off, or can Kurt, can you hear us?
I think he might be
Muted.
Yeah.
Kurt?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Did you want to start off, or did you want me to?
Well, I thought let's go ahead and read that vision statement. I think that's really valuable, the value. Allison, if you could read that.
Sure. The housing vision is a substantial decrease in homelessness in our community, all facets. As we increase the perception of what homelessness is, we can increase our approach. Another vision point is we want to provide adequate support to those deprived from the necessities of life. The hope is for the Blackfoot area to have a low barrier shelter for all residents. Low barrier are those people that many times have difficulty getting into a shelter due to mental illness, certain disabilities, those having major medical problems sometimes, and substance abuse issues. We want to use the housing first approach, which is basically we provide shelter to everyone. If we can't have shelter, we would like to start with warming stations, particularly when it gets frigid outside. We feel like everyone has a basic right to stay warm and have a place from outside. We also discuss a little bit about, approaching the issue of homelessness by dealing with a multi-dimensional process, such as maybe compensated work therapy, psychosocial, emotional support. And we also discuss ways that by giving back to homeless persons through possible employment programs, that benefits both the shelters and the community. We also talked about integrated community livable housing, and not just special needs housing or shelters, but a broad spectrum of housing for everybody. And that includes people on all the economic scales. And we had some minor discussion about tiny house community. And we just want to try to meet the needs of groups that are not able to find housing. And that's an overview there.
Great. Okay, and now I'm gonna now advance to the slide with the more specific project ideas for housing and homelessness. Yeah. So, Kurt, I don't know, Kurt, we might have an echo problem with you because if you're using a laptop computer different from the other folks in the room. But let's just move ahead, and if it's a problem, we'll deal with it. But
This is the microphone there at the senior center. That should work.
Can you hear me okay now?
there's still there's still an echo.
Okay, maybe I'll go in the next room.
Okay, try that.
Let's do that. These project ideas that we started out with were a synthesis of what we discussed on December 9th. They were an effort to get the major problems addressed that were identified. And these ideas that rose to the surface were that we really did want to have a variety of different housing options to match a lot of different needs. And that was up and down the spectrum from the lowest of the low, almost a tent, to clear to, a large home on a single family lot. There was a real desire to get some additional low and very low income housing in the community and workforce housing. We talked about the second thing was to get a variety of shelter options, and Allison just went over some of those needs and some of the things we wanted there, and also integrating along with these things clothing and food boxes and other humanitarian issues that could go along with the housing and become a complete package. And then of course, we have a really excellent human social service professional network in the city, in the county, but we'd like to strengthen that.
Great. Anybody from now I've got an echo. As we had not only Allison and Kurt in this group, we also had Ron Ramirez, and who else am I missing? Kurt and Allison. Did we had Julie Buck,
Julie
And Scott.
Oh, Scott Smith. Yeah. So we had a pretty good participation, I think, in the conversation. Okay. Any questions or comments about this list of possible projects related to housing and homelessness? Okay.
John, as we discussed kind of after the fact with Allison,
Yeah.
some of these represent actual like physical projects and investments, and some of them, like the social or human social service professional network, is sort of a cooperative agreement among regional providers that's not necessarily on the same level. So that's just one distinction.
Yeah, good point. So now, Marcy, is now the time we want to bring up the poll?
There you are.
Okay.
So for those at the senior center, you can verbalize your top 3 choices out of this list of 4, and we will compile them and share the results in just a moment.
I see, Marcy. I see that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like you took our list of 10 and kind of collapsed it into these 4. Is that,
I am, yeah, just what's on the slide.
okay, all right. And for this, I just want to clarify, for this, we're only asking Jason and Renee to weigh in on this poll, right? Because they're the people present who were not participating earlier today, right? Okay, all right, then I see two people.
Everyone from the community, I think, because
Oh,
they're going to be, um, for example, Jan was in recreation, so she can vote on the housing, and
okay,
everybody from the community gets to vote. And I think that does include Renee as well, because
okay,
she's also a community member.
okay. So all of you on the home team who are on this Zoom call, give a little instruction. How do they vote? Lori or Marcy, how did they? I'm a little not clear.
The poll on their screen, any of the home team members, they can participate.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Pam. I had it come up, so I voted.
Okay. Okay. Great.
You vote, it says you vote for 3. I don't know, I think, does each vote carry the same weight? Or does each person give a 1, a 2, and a 3?
I believe it's the same weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I hit one and then I hit another one, the first one disappears.
That was my experience as well.
That might be my human error. It is set up for only one.
Both you were only able to vote
verbally and just have somebody note the votes on a paper sheet.
Yeah. And then for those of you on the Zoom, if you were only able to vote for one, you can put the other two in the chat box to Marcy.
And to John, he's compiling them and putting
John.
them
Okay.
on the slide that we're looking at.
So John Barrett, and you can do it just directly to him if you don't want everybody to know what you're voting for, or if you don't care, just. I wonder how come they couldn't pick 3.
You might have, in the flurry of setting it up, I think the next 2 polls you'll be able to vote for 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Jan says 1, 3, and 4. And Maureen, that was intentional. It's only the home team that's voting.
So I did send you, John, what I'm seeing in the poll results.
Yeah, I didn't vote. I was just saying, since I can't vote, I just wanted to let everyone know, fantastic project.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to change my vote. I meant to vote for 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, and that was Jan, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and I see Lene, I see your votes there. And Pam, I see yours.
John, I sent it just to you.
Okay, okay.
Did the mayor and Renee at the senior center send in their selections to John?
Allison, I got your vote.
John, I sent mine directly to you as well.
Okay. Okay.
This is Renee. My votes are 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4. Renee, that's Renee, right? Okay. Okay. So it was 4.
This is Mark. Make that the same, 1, 2, and 4.
Okay.
He was lurking around the corner, but he's not there now.
Back to the kitchen eating.
Oh, okay.
Kurt, I don't, oh, never mind. Cancel that. Okay, any more home team people who need to vote? Okay. Okay, if not, oh, I'm sorry. I need to, sorry. Please bear with me 1 minute. I'm doing some tabulating. Okay. So the totals, which I'll add here. I get your point you've made, Lori, about having multiple windows open. Because I'm like, what? Where am I? What's the deal?
And in order to type on the slide, you'll have to exit out of the full screen.
Oh, okay. So, okay. And now I'm trying to figure out, how do I exit out of full screen?
Or out of slideshow.
Out of slides, out of sharing. Oh, out of,
Out
okay.
of slideshow, yeah.
Okay.
In editing mode.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, it's not letting me exit out of, there we go. Okay. But you can see I'm putting numbers in here. There it's 8, 7, 2, and 6. From going from top to bottom, yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's the outcome of the housing. That's the outcome for a trade. Yeah. Okay. So now let's want to transition to the next focus area. And my screen, you can see my screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're on recreation. So okay. Who from recreation is going to tell us about your vision statements?
Me.
Me, Jan? Okay.
Jan.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jan.
So our vision statements included, is there an echo? A focus on youth providing a multitude of activities for youth to enjoy throughout the community, with an emphasis on affordable recreational opportunities for all ages within the community. I said pretty much the same thing. Recreation that would fit all age groups. And we kind of had to re-envision what recreation meant to all of us. And it's not necessarily outdoor activities, but as the mayor said, he kind of views it as things that you do to relax. So you could also consider activities like painting, writing, gardening, even ceramics, or things that you could do as a lifelong activity and not just a sport activity when you're younger. And as we thought about that, we wondered how we could incorporate partnerships, incorporate and identify partnerships to work with us or work within the community to provide places that you could do some of these other types of activities.
Great.
Any questions on that?
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna move to your project slide now. Yeah, here we go.
So we kind of narrowed our project ideas down, and they're in order, but no specific priority. We would like a rec center / downtown activity center that could maybe house a laser tag, something like that for our young adults or high school kids to kind of hang out after school. Indoor soccer area or other play fields. Thinking of ways to repurpose our pool dome to possibly tennis, training facility, pickleball, walking track, meeting area. But that in and of itself has some challenges in that we acquired that through a National Park Service acquisition kind of thing. So that will be challenging to figure that one out. Pickleball seems to be really picking up in popularity, not only with older people, but even with younger people. So we thought about adding some pickleball courts. Splash pads are big with the young ones. And skill building classes and creative recreation, which I talked about before. And then we have a great green belt already, but it would be even greater if we could expand that pathway and connect it possibly across the river or to other sections of town so that we could get more people in and around.
Testing.
We can hear whoever is testing if
Oh,
FYI.
that's me.
Oh, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. We got you. You're with us.
Yeah.
Great. Welcome back if you had to leave us. Okay, great. So here's the recreation poll. And same thing, right? Vote for 3? All home team?
Yes. Let us know if you can't vote for 3.
And there's 7 options here.
It worked that time.
Oh, good.
Good.
That include everyone on this team? Sorry, to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
And so I guess, and Renee, Mayor, Carol, and Kurt, if you want to send your votes to me in a chat message, or well, I guess I'm not sure if you can do that, but
John, it let me do the poll, so I already did it.
okay. How about the mayor and Renee? We want to make sure we capture theirs.
Visiting team, it would have been handy, I think, to number each individual item.
Good, that's good feedback.
I think they're in order of the numbers on the screen.
Oh, yes, looks
So
like
if
it.
you want to give us numbers, look at the slide as opposed to the poll.
I have a question on number 3, where it's repurposing the dome. There was some discussion about, was that practical or not?
Well,
What do you mean by practical? Oh, I'm sorry, Jan, go ahead.
oh, I don't know that we have a good answer for you there, because as I said, that space was negotiated with the National Park Service 40 years ago and got to be used as a recreational facility in perpetuity. So we don't know if we're going to be able to repurpose that or if we're going to have to tear it down and put something else there. We really don't know.
The issue would be the grant is for a pool. And if it's not going to be for a pool, then we have to go back to the original agreement where the school district provided the land that the pool was built on. So the land should go back to the school district now. But there are several other legal issues that get wrapped up in it that would take us too long to talk about.
Watching the time, John, we've got 10 minutes.
Okay.
This is Renee. I would vote for 1, 5, and 7.
Okay. 1.
3 would have been good, but I think there's too many ifs about that one.
7 is expansion. Okay. And Mayor, have you voted for on this one?
Yes, I would like to say 4, 5, 6, and 7, but you're holding me to 3, so I'll go 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Pickleball.
I know we're running low on time, but Nancy had a couple questions about the pool that I think would probably be easier. She had them in chat, and I think it would be easier to just spend 60 or 90 seconds to explain why the pool is unable to be used at this time.
Could we hold that till the end?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to, she was just asking several questions in chat and just wanted to make sure she had the information that she needed to make a decision on the priorities.
Okay, so I believe, if I'm not wrong, I believe we have 7 votes for splash pad, 7 votes for greenbelt expansion, and 5 votes for skill building classes. And those are the 3 highest vote getting projects for recreation. I believe that's correct. Actually,
Can you type them onto the screen like you did before?
yes. Yeah, it's challenging. I'm trying to do 2 things at once because I want to transition to the next focus area.
Or we could, I can go cut and paste that text, put it in the chat, and you could then add the numbers that way while we're working on image and identity.
Okay.
Let's do that. So
Okay.
just, you don't have to worry about it. Go ahead and go to the next slide and
Okay.
I'll get that for you.
Okay. Because I'm also seeing 2 votes for the rec center downtown. So I just want to make sure we capture it all. And okay, so okay, thanks for hanging in there with us, everybody. You are. Okay, image and identity. Which team member is going to share your work on this vision statement and then followed by the project list?
I got it.
Okay, is that Maureen?
Lene.
Lene, okay, great, thank you.
Yep. So as far as our, one sentence, our kind of synopsis of what we would like to see happen, as far as image and identity goes in Blackfoot, we would like a diverse and thriving community that welcomes a variety of industry, culture, and resource, with city leadership that considers smart growth of the community. And some of those things include every business storefront thriving, a thriving downtown that includes people walking around and shopping, a nice entrance to town on all 3 sides, and tourism, a place that feels and that is home and feels like home when visitors come, that's family friendly, incorporates new companies and is intriguing to them, and has plenty of jobs for everyone.
Great, those sound like really good indicators of success. Any comments or questions from anybody on that? Okay. Okay, and here are the image and identity project ideas screen. I'm gonna make this, whoa. Sorry, here. Okay.
Okay.
Lene,
So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll keep going. So the first one is kind of a multifold situation, but we want to create a focused brand for marketing on how the city is viewed by residents and for visitors, specifically we want to mostly tailor it to visitors. So those first 3 bullet points, the Route 91, similar to Route 96, in a way to get people off of I-15 and shopping and staying and playing in our area. Would be the first target thing for that. The second one is to incorporate us as Blackfoot being the gateway to outdoor adventure. We're close to a lot of things, and people could stay here and be able to enjoy all of those things. And then the third kind of priority item would be to utilize the state fair kind of as a stepping stone, and then incorporate other festivals similar to like our Celebrate Blackfoot events, and then all kinds of other events that could possibly be incorporated into our town and kind of become known as a town of fairs and festivals. And we could incorporate celebrating culture and faith and all of those things, family-oriented projects into people's fairs and festivals, and kind of be known as that. In addition to those 3 kind of top items, we also would like to incorporate, being the potato capital of the world, we capitalize on already having the potato museum, and maybe incorporate some other ideas in addition to that, and promote our historic downtown district as well. In addition to like those that we would tailor towards other visitors of the community, we would also want to have them know kind of throughout the marketing plan that we are a small town, but we are close to cities, but we can still have great amenities as well, and that we're an agricultural community and a family-friendly area. So those are kind of the things that would be incorporated into a focused brand for marketing the city itself. The second project would incorporate more pride in the community through making the town look really nice. So that would incorporate beautification of our entryways, and also incorporate preservation of things that we already have, both public and private. The third thing would be to enhance our Snake River area as far as an asset, and really capitalize on, and this kind of, I don't know, it kind of also falls under the recreational thing, but kind of ties the two together to incorporate the Snake River as an asset to become the image of our community, to more become the identity of our community, to be able to utilize what we have as far as assets, the river itself, and the green belt, the walking paths, all of the other things that we have, and then also incorporate additional things like mountain biking trails, rapid parks, and other things that could be possibly added to our area to incorporate that into that identity as far as being an area for outdoor adventure. And then the fourth one kind of was like this kind of a mishmash of all of our kind of backup ideas, if that makes sense. A few of them are more tailored to some of the other things, but some good ideas there that we didn't want to lose. And so those incorporate things like establishing a historic district that builds on the success of the museum, maybe incorporates more opportunities for tourism there, advertising that would fall under the marketing kind of part of things that would get people off of the highway, and promote things in town, but also, as a whole. And then some suggestions were made to maybe make downtown pedestrian access, so people are walking rather than necessarily driving through those blocks of town, to be able to promote more access, but specifically for walking paths, and then also utilize the area outside of town, not necessarily within the city limits, for off-roading and out in the desert, for dirt biking, four-wheeling, UTVing, and jeeping out there on the desert, and BLM land, and be able to kind of make some areas out there a little bit more accessible to the people, and similar to how Moab and those areas down there in southern Utah have incorporated that.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to, before we do the voting, I just want to ask very quickly on the first item about creating a focused brand. did you say that the 3 bullets there, Route 91, Gateway, and Utilize State Fair, did those 3 bullets kind of receive more attention or more interest and support relative to the other bullets, or all of those bullets kind of thought of kind of more equally?
No, the top 3 were definitely more of interest, more specifically to be able to bring visitors to town. The last 3 are more like how we would like the community to see us, but we don't feel the need necessarily to market to our own people. Like we don't need to tell them that we're an agricultural community because they already know that. But we do want to incorporate those things into the overall marketing campaign in order for the visitors to kind of, in the background, we still want to keep those in mind. Like we don't want them to not see us as an agricultural community or a family-friendly community, because that is important to our own residents, if that makes sense. So the top 3 were how we were going to advertise and market to visitors, specifically in the realm of tourism, getting people to town, and then the potato capital and the historic district can also fall into that as more specific targets there.
Great, thank you very much for that clarification and clarity. Yeah. Okay, I see people are voting, so proceed.
John, I think on the poll, numbers 1 and 2 are reversed from what Lene reported.
Okay, oh, you're correct. Okay, we'll just make a note of that. Great. Okay, thank you, Marcy, for giving me these numbers. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mark, got yours.
And one thing while everybody's kind of doing their voting thing, I wanted to mention was we really want to promote what we already have with the intention of continually adding more and encouraging people to privately also add more, if that makes sense. So that as a whole, our community becomes better and better as we go.
Great. Okay, last call for voting. Anybody else need to get their licks in here? Or is that it? Okay, 5, 4, vote, polls closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I have for number 1, Pride in the City, 6 votes. Number 2, Focused Brand, 8 votes. Number 3, Snake River, 7. And number 4, marketing is 5 votes. So that's how that shook out.
Wow, all very close.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I wasn't able to confidently tally up all of the recreation votes.
Oh, you don't know the numbers for each one?
I don't. No, not with exact. Not that I can say this is definitely the totals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know which ones had the most?
Well, the splash pad, the green belt, and the recreation center, and the skill building. Those were at the near the top. I'm just splash. Yeah. Those that I just listed are kind of at the top 3 or 4. Again, that was splash pad, green belt, skill building classes, and rec center. Those are the 4 top ones. With the splash pad and the green belt ideas being getting the most votes. Okay, that's as exact as I can get it right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there is that one. I put 2 stars by expansion of Greenbelt and Splash Pad, since you say those got the most votes.
Yeah.
And then 1 star by skill building and rec center.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep. That's that's accurate.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to say to you all, we're running a few minutes over, but thank you for all your work today and this evening. And we look forward to reconvening tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Mountain, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts of action planning for the highest priority projects. And then if you're not joining us tomorrow during the day, please come back to the town hall meeting at 6 p.m. tomorrow, where we're going to show and talk about our work on the action plans. Any other final thoughts or questions before we adjourn here?
Jason, you're welcome to join the team tomorrow to participate, even though you weren't there today.
Okay.
Yes.
And bring a friend.
Okay.
All of you. Go do some door knocking or phone calling or emailing tonight, texting.
Yeah.